Hi, I'm Narendra Kumar, and in this video, I'm going to explain what exactly is Genie and why it is becoming so famous nowadays. And then we will jump to the demo where we will create a Genie workspace. There, we will define different instructions and we will also provide it joining conditions and SQL expressions. And at the end, we will see how we can monitor it and perform some benchmarking. So, let's get started. First of all, let's understand what exactly is Genie. So Genie, it is a AI powered platform for business intelligence applications. So basically, we just provide it any data in terms of tables, and then we can ask any natural language based questions. So it can automatically convert those questions in SQL, provide a summarized answer along with automatic visualizations as well. So this is a really useful feature for business users who don't even know how to write SQL. So we just give them data and they can ask any question on top of the data and they get really good answers. So let's understand all this through a demo. So to create a Genie workspace, we go to this Genie section, then click on new. And in the step one, we need to select the data that we want to provide it for querying. So by default, Databricks it provide really good sample data. So we are going to use that. You can also use the same so that we don't have to load any data to try it out. Within samples, I'm going to use this bakehouse data, and it has multiple tables. So for this demo, we are going to use the customers, franchisee, and transaction table. So these three tables I am providing it. After that, I will click on create. And now the Genie workspace is created. So that's how simple it is. And currently the SQL warehouse, it is getting started. And here we can ask any question in plain English. Let's say I'm asking like, show me country-wise transactions. That's the only phrase I'm providing it. Now it is understanding my question. It is finding the relevant data and it is doing some calculations. And we can see it has found this relevant data and it is doing some calculation here, and this is where it is showing the final summary that for this country this many transactions has been performed, this country this many, and we can see the complete table here. And also automatically it has created this visualization as well for us, so that graphically we can check that Japan, it has a very high number of transactions as compared to other countries. And here, if we want, we can download this visualization directly. We can edit it as well. And we can ask follow-up questions as well. And we can review also whether this data is it correct or not, so that it can use it for future reference. And if we want what SQL query it generated, so that's what we can see here. This is the SQL query internally it generated, which fetched the data. So this is how easy it is to create a Genie workspace and use the same. Now what we are going to do is I will show all these options and why these are important for Genie. So first of all, here we see this data tab. We can see that three tables that we provided here. We can add more data if we want to. And if we go to instructions sub part, so here we get multiple tabs. So the first one, it is general instructions. So here we can provide general instructions that Genie shall keep in mind while it is processing our query. So here are some sample instructions that I have prepared. We can give it some business context, what it is about, what are the different metrics, important metrics that user may ask, how it shall handle time, geography, how it shall handle, and what are some of the default things it shall take in mind. So that way we can provide very detailed instructions here. And the next tab, it is about joins. So even though we saw that in our case the columns which are being joined has the exact same name, so it was able to figure out how to join tables. But here we can define it explicitly also, so that it can keep it in mind, it can join the tables right away and it doesn't make any mistake. So let's say transaction table, it joins with customer table based on customer ID, and it is a many to one relationship. Like we have many transactions for a given customer. That way we can provide it this joining condition. Similarly, the transaction table, it also joins with franchisee table based on franchisee ID. So that's how we can provide these joining conditions to it. And the next tab, it is about SQL expressions. So if we go here, we see these three options. So we can provide some ready to use SQL expressions which are common, so that whenever user asks about them, it doesn't have to think much. It can directly use them. So for example, here we can define a measure, and the name we can provide it as revenue, and the code, it can be like sum of total price. So here we are saying that from sales transaction table, use the total price and perform a sum. And here we can provide synonyms. So what are other similar words when user use them, it shall perform this same measure and do this sum. So that's what it will keep in mind. And also we can provide it some instructions also specific to this measure, so that it keep it in mind. So that's how we can define a measure or SQL expression here. We can also define some common filters and dimensions as well. And then the next tab, it is about SQL queries and functions. So here it is also giving two suggestions. So let's check them out. We can see here that suggestion it is providing is that when user asks this question, this can be the code used. So if we accept it, it will reflect there. Similarly, this is another one, that if user asks this question, then this is the code that shall be generated. And why it shall be defined here is that, so that when you, here we can add some of the common questions which multiple users can ask, or if some user is asking again and again, so that for those kind of question it doesn't have to internally process much, and directly it can jump here and use these queries. So these are all the options we are getting in this tab. Next, moving on to the settings tab. Here the options are simple only. This is where we can define the title. Let's say we are naming this as Bake House. Here we can provide some description. And this description, although it seems some casual entry and not so important, but when we have lot of Genie workspaces, so for business users, this becomes very important, and they are able to understand like what is this workspace about. And then here we can define some sample questions also. For example, we can say it like identify top 5 products by revenue in each franchisee country. And if we add this sample question, so it will automatically reflect when the Genie workspace starts. So let's save it. Now with all these settings defined, let's see how the Genie will work now. So we are going back, we are jumping again here. Let me close this one. So this is how it will look for business users. They can ask anything. And the question that we had added, it is reflecting here along with some automatically identified questions. So if I simply click it, it will do its job. It is understanding it, and it will do the similar operation that we saw. And here we can see the results. So these are the top 5 countries, and city wise, what is the revenue we can see here. And we can see it has created like a really nice visualization as well for us. And this is all about configuring these options. Configure section we covered just now. Next, let's move on to benchmarking and monitoring. So monitoring, as the name suggests, it here we can monitor things. What are the questions asked historically? And we can go there and we can check out the same output, what output was provided. And the rating that user had provided, whether it was good or bad, that also we can see here. And the next one, it is about benchmarking. So let's go to benchmarks. And here we can see some suggestions which are coming automatically. So let's review them and let's see how the benchmarking works. So if we review this, basically what benchmarking means, uh, if this question is asked, then this is the ground truth SQL answer, that for this question, this SQL shall be generated. So that is what we are telling it. It is kind of a test case, we can say. So let's say this is another one that we are reviewing, we are accepting it. So others we can accept it or reject it, it doesn't matter. These two I have added for now. Once we add some benchmarks, here we can add some of our own as well from here, like add benchmark. We can give any sample question. We can define the SQL answer here. Then that will be treated as benchmark. And how these benchmarks used are, we when we run these benchmarks, so it will perform kind of a testing. So right now, internally, it will try out this question and it will see what answer it is getting and whether the answer it is same as the ground truth that we had provided. So this helps us to confirm that Jenny is working as expected. And for our this demo use case, it is simple one, but practically there can be so many tables, and that's where things can get complicated. And that's where testing it this way it gives confidence that yes, Jenny is working as expected. So here, this first test case, it is complete. We can see that this is the ground truth, this is the response, and it is matching. That's why it has marked it as good here. And whatever this evaluation is going on, we will be able to see them here that it is currently running. And after it is complete, we will be able to see the accuracy as well. So here we can see that accuracy is 1 by 2. That means one response was good and this second one, this was bad. So we can see that in this case, even though it told like automatically as a suggestion, but when it is running, it is not able to provide the exact same data. So that's how it is able to like it this benchmarking, it helps us confirming the functionality and performing testing. And now as this Genie workspace it is ready, the next question comes like how do we make it available for business users? So for that, Databricks has introduced this really good feature which is called as Databricks One. And why they have introduced this, if you look at it, so as a developer we are very comfortable with this, but for business owner who don't want any code or anything, so this looks very clumsy and not useful for them. So that's why Databricks they have created this separate UI, Databricks One. And the business users they will be provided access only to this UI. And if you look at it, it looks very clean and with like very few options. And in this UI, they show only dashboards, Genie spaces, and apps, because business users they would want only those. So, for example, here is the Genie workspace that the user wanted, and either I can click here or I can directly ask here as well. Here I can select it, and I can ask a question here. So let's say the user wanted to know like top 5 franchisee cities by revenue, including revenue, units sold, number of unique customers, and everything. And the moment we hit enter, it will open the same Genie workspace that we had created. And we are seeing these right side settings because we have full access, but business users they will see a very clean UI. Oh, I mistakenly closed it. Let me ask it again. Yes. So this kind of UI they will see, and it will be very clean and very friendly for them to use. And here we can see the results in the same way that Rome is having the highest total revenue. And we can see all these things in visualization as well as expected. So this is how we can create and use a Genie workspaces, and it is getting very popular now. And a lot of business users or lot of clients have already started using it in production. So as a developer, we shall be knowing how to create it and how to set up properly so that we can serve the business users. That's all I wanted to explain in this demo. So if you like this content, please put a like and comment. If you have any doubt, then also please put a comment. Thank you. Bye bye. Happy learning.